Hey, how's everybody doing? Hmm. Just listening to a lot of Eric Clapton today. A lot of old stuff, some of the Cream stuff, and he always did this reunion over in um, Royal Albert Hall once a year, and him and Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce, while those guys were still alive, they'd get together every year and play like 3 or 4 days. And I have a funny story about that, by the way. I'll share later. Um, anyway, I was listening to some of his stuff, some of the concerts and stuff, and I listened to this one lick he did, and I'm just gonna share it. It's in the key of C. I believe they were playing Stormy Monday Blues, and he did this lick, typical Clapton lick. And by the way, I have arguments all the time with a couple of my friends. They think that Clapton's not a blues player, and I'm like, God, good grief, guys, get over yourselves. He is a blues player. He can play the blues. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So that's the lick. Pretty cool lick. I believe he was playing it on Stormy Monday. Not sure. But anyway, I thought it was pretty cool sounding. So he starts off with this using the minor pentatonic scale. Again, we're in the key of C. And we're playing pretty much out of that minor pentatonic scale, except for the last lick. Ends on the major third when it comes back. You play this lick over the 4, coming back to the 5 on a slow blues. So let me play the lick and explain it. So you're going to go straight up the pentatonic scale, starting here on the A string, on the 10th fret with your 3rd finger, up to the 8th fret of the D string 1st finger, to the 10th fret of the D string 3rd finger, to the 8th fret of the G string with your 1st finger. Then you're going to go to the 10th fret of the G string with your 3rd finger. So we have. Yeah. Yeah, he pulls off there. So he does this slide back down. Then he slides up to the 11th fret with the 3rd finger on the G string, back down to the 10th. Then he pulls off there. Then he comes up here to the 10th fret of the D string with his 3rd finger, rolls it back down to the 10th fret of the G string. Then he hits on the, rolls it back up here to this 10th fret. Then he ends on the 8th fret of the G string with your 1st finger. Put that little twist on that note. Then he does this typical straight ahead blues lick right here. He didn't make this lick up. He stole this from somebody too, probably. But I'm stealing it too, so that's how we all learn this stuff, by the way. So he does this bend here on the 10th fret of the G string. Then he takes his 1st finger over the B and E string on the 8th fret. Like that. So now we have. Then you do a pull off from the 11th fret on the B string with your 4th finger down to the 8th fret of the B string with your 1st finger. So we got. So we got. And it's just exactly like the first lick, this part here. He does the slide, slide down to up to the on the G string, third finger, slide up to the 11th, back down to the 10th, then pull off down to the 8th fret. Then he does the same exact thing here. He comes up to the 10th fret of the D string, up to the 10th fret of the G string, rolls it back up. Then he does, here's where he plays the major third. He does a hammer on from the 8th to the 9th fret on the G string with his first and second finger. So that's the whole, I guess there's 2 licks there if you want to call it. Let me try to play that in context with the slow blues here. And he played it pretty fast. So here we go. You'll notice that I did that slide. You can do either one. You could do the hammer on. I did basically the same thing with just my one finger there, like that. You can do it either way. There's a slight difference, but not enough to worry about. So if you do, and the difference is the third kind of outlines that you're back on the one chord. That's why, you know, he played the third. Clapton's a very intelligent guitar player, in my opinion, and a really great blues player. My friends are just, I don't know, they're delusional sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to play it one more time. You know what? No, I won't do that. So, here we go. I'll do it this time with the hammer on. I like kind of, I like doing it with my finger like that for some reason. I think he did the hammer on. I have to go back up and look. That's a tough lick to pull off, but it's a pretty normal standard blues lick. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And, oh, yeah, so I was going to tell you, some friends of mine, I have some friends that live in England. They live in London. And he called me up one year. We've been friends for years. I taught his son how to play guitar. He took lessons from me. They would come over to America about 2 or 3 times a year. He owned a pretty big business over in London, and so him and his wife and his son would come over to America, and they had 2 houses over here, and they would come over here on vacation, more or less. They'd stay here for about 2 or 3 months at a time, and during that time I would give their son guitar lessons. So got to be really close friends with them, and we still see them to this day. They come over. In fact, they're going to be coming over in August, and we always get together with them all the time they're here and go out and eat with them and do stuff with them. Now the son is all grown up now, and he won't be coming. He doesn't come as often. In fact, he's kind of taken over the business. His dad's kind of semi-retired. But anyway, So one year he called me up. His name's Ron. Called me up and he said, "Hey, I got tickets to go see Clapton at the Royal Albert Hall. I got an extra ticket. Are you coming?" And I'm like, "You did what?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "I got tickets to go to the Royal Albert Hall and see Clapton, with Cream, Ginger Baker, and Jack Bruce." He says, "And I just thought you might want to come. I bought you a ticket." He says, "If you can fly over here, you can stay at our house and then go to the show and then fly back home." Well, needless to say, I don't fly very often. Only in emergencies will I get on a plane. Kinda. When I toured with Larry Howard, I did fly. I don't like flying. I'm not a big fan of it, but I have flown before. But I guess I would fly some today. But back then, I was totally against it. This was like in the early 2000s, and I just didn't want to fly. But now that I think back on it, and I'm thinking, how stupid was I, to get to see Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Jack Bruce perform together in a Royal Albert Hall. Yeah, that was a pretty stupid blunder on my part. But anyway, I'll never get to see those guys. I never saw. I've seen Clapton plenty of times, but I never saw Cream. Always wanted to, and that would have been my chance. But and Clapton, by the way, and that band. I mean, I've watched some videos today, and of some of their performances at the Royal Albert Hall, in the 2000s. I mean, you got to understand, Cream was a band from the 70s, and but man, those guys still sounded good. Even in the early 2000s, they were laying down those songs, and it sounded really good. I mean, Clapton can still, everybody said he's kind of slowed down now. Yeah, maybe, but man, I know back then he was playing his butt off still. And I've always loved Eric Clapton, big influence in my playing. The Cream days, even before that, John Mayo, the Yardbirds, been listening to him for a long time, and he's always gotten better. To me, I thought this guy's still getting it, man, and he can play the blues. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing here, like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the little bell, share this with friends, and yeah, learn this lick. It's a cool lick. But anyway, y'all have a blessed evening, and thanks for watching.